Shalom. First thing and foremost, we give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Noise in this gospel, bro, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is just a video by Jason A. It's titled, It Has Begun. 2025, we are in the second day of what you perceive to be the year 2025, which is the year of the hopeful deliverance of the elect and the destruction of our enemies, starting with you biblical Edomites, you Idumeans, first and foremost. So far, we've had a record number of judgments, from clubs being shut up in New York City to New Year's Eve parties being shut up in Kankakee. One dude, I believe he was located in Indiana. I think he beat his girlfriend over the head with a goddamn space heater and a frying pan, stated that he just wanted her dead. You got a group going around, 70,000 men, talking about they want to do things to women. And on top of that, you had the whole thing with the Trump Tower, or the Trump National Hotel out in Vegas. Allegedly, some type of cyber truck pulled up in front of the Trump Towers, and I think it exploded, injuring maybe a couple of people, maybe two people. I think maybe one or two people died. And then you had this incident down in Bourbon Street, which they stated the death toll is up to 15 now, regarding the so-called T attack. And they're throwing that word terrorism out there very lightly, because, see, what they're getting ready to do is create these narratives to be justified on cracking down on so-called domestic terrorists. Okay, and they're gonna try to narrow it down to particular groups, of getting information and sources from groups and listening to certain speaking points or ideologies, and they're gonna try to trace it back to some type of movement, man. And this is how it all starts. Okay, if you saw that movie, The Forever Purge pretty much took place because of different groups that were spreading tweets online about the purge, and like just generic, like they had like from what I can recall, you had like certain groups, like I'm gonna just use Antifa for an example, or the MAGA, like little splinter sects like that was spreading information about forever purging. And it's kind of the same thing when you look at it. So they had to create a disinformation war in order to win the information war, because Esau is losing control of the narrative. Okay, and these things are sloppy as all hell. Like allegedly, what's this guy's name? Matter of fact, let's go here. Let's go on my page. Community sections, right? Now, yeah, this guy here, allegedly. Now, when I first saw this, I'm like, oh shit, it looked like a Jake almost. Like when I looked at him from a peripheral, I'm like, oh, this look like a so-called black man. I'm like, what are the chances, right, that somebody plows through a laundry list of people that's out there celebrating, all right? But they stated that this guy was a veteran, or like a U.S. veteran or some shit. Some narrative that Esau gave. I don't know. It constantly changes. But allegedly, this guy was a military vet from Dallas, not Dallas, but from Texas. And allegedly, he just got pissed off and just ran over a bunch of people. Allegedly, they stated that he put it online what he was getting ready to do, because, you have what they called when people leave, what's the name of that damn thing? People leave little notes and stuff like that before they do these things, which don't make any sense by any reason, right? But allegedly he posted what he was online, and he was speaking on what he wanted to do and how he was going to do it, and then he did it. Like, that don't even make sense. Like, if anybody was going to do some type of crime to some degree, they not going to tell you about it, they just going to do it. So it's sloppy as all hell. But see, that's what Esau uses to push narratives to crack down on certain groups, man. Because let's just say if somebody got in the spirit and they wanted to go do some harm to somebody, a real person ain't going to tell you what they going to do. They just going to carry this shit out, no motive, right? You ain't going to have a motive. It just happened. But these guys are leaving notes and diaries and videos and, oh, this is my last day on earth type. People doing that don't make any sense. That's how you know that it's all a psyop, man. But allegedly this guy is supposed to be some type of veteran, but he goes by the name of Shamud Din Jabbar, right? Which you can clearly tell he's from the Middle East. All right. Look like he could be of East Indian origin, or Elam. Look like an Elamite. But I find it weird that how these guys are allegedly committing crimes, and all these nationalists that's coming across the border, They seem to focus more on the Northern Kingdom, but yet this guy clearly, according to their sources, plowed through a bunch of people celebrating New Year's Eve on Bourbon Street. So it's just this dude is getting sloppy, man. All right, and this is why the Most High is getting ready to really take this man down, because the scripture stated that shameful spewing should be upon thy glory, and the nation should discover thy nakedness, man. Okay, so let me get a quick precept, and I'm gonna go into the video, and that'll be that. This is the book of Psalms 37, and I'm gonna start at verses 28. It says, "For the Lord loveth judgment, because at the end of the day it is all judgment of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai." It says, "Forsake not his saints, they are preserved forever, but the seed of the wicked should not be cut off." All right, but the key word is judgment, and there has been a numerous amount of judgments going out since this year began. Okay, and I believe that this year is going to be a year of judgments, especially on our people, man, because they just been cutting up. And like we always say, ninjas have to be stopped. So I'm going to play this video, a couple of minutes of it, and now we'll get more precepts, and we'll follow the spirit. So here we go. Bear with me 1 second.
That breaking news, the start of 2025 marked by tragedy in one of America's most celebratory cities.
Yeah, that's right. Tashani and Dan, in 2024, as you mentioned, quite literally left with a bang in the form of those late night thunderstorms.
Oh, yeah, and I meant to mention, lightning strikes Empire State Building, U.S. Capitol Building, and Washington Monument on New Year's Eve. That's a telltale sign. Those are one of the three most pivotal landmarks in America. Okay, the Capitol buildings, which a lot of, Congress and a lot of draconian laws and a lot of unrighteous decrees go forth from there, which is in Washington, D.C. The Washington Monument, which is nothing but an Egyptian obelisk, which proves that we're in Egypt, and then the Empire State Building. Okay, which the Empire State, when you go into empire, it goes into like a kingdom. Okay, and we know that New York is really the center of the world, trade of the world. That's really the capital of the world, being New York City, to be honest with you. In some sources, some people may disagree with that, but when you have world trade, most things happen on the East Coast first. So, hey, those are telltale signs that the Lord is getting ready to crush this dude, man.
Obviously, this had to be horrific to witness. I mean, I imagine that you were there celebrating, with your friends, your loved ones, ringing in the new year, and then to see and to watch all of this unfold. What was going through your mind, Jimmy?
Shock. Like it looked like something out of a movie.
We're also following breaking news out of Las Vegas, where police and fire officials are now investigating a fire and explosion at Trump Las Vegas. They say it happened in a car that a driver pulled into a valet area there, and the vehicle exploded. Our Justice reporter Alex Mellon has the latest on that. Alex, what are they now saying about what happened here in Vegas?
Hi there, Diane. It's actually Alex Stone here. And Las Vegas law enforcement, they briefed a moment ago saying that they don't have a lot of answers yet on what this was. It was around 8:40 this morning. This call came in of an explosion at the Trump Tower Hotel. They know a cyber truck pulled up right to the glass entrance doors. Smoke started coming from the vehicle, and then it exploded. Now, they don't know if this was intentional. They don't know if it was something wrong with the vehicle.
So we continue to cover a vehicle ramming attack that has occurred on Bourbon Street in New Orleans. We just got a statement from President-elect Trump on the New Orleans attack. He says, quote, "When I said that the criminals coming in are far worse than the criminals we have in our country, that statement was constantly refuted by Democrats and the fake news media, but it turned out to be true. The crime rate in our country is at a level that nobody has ever seen before. Our hearts are with all of the innocent victims and their loved ones, including the brave officers of the New Orleans Police Department. The Trump administration will fully support the city of New Orleans as they investigate and recover from this act of pure evil."
That's the devil. That's the devil for you, because out of 1 minute, like the scripture say, out of his mouth proceed blessings and cursings. Like, in 1 minute, he's trying to act like he's so innocent, but behind the scenes, they're the ones that's pulling all the strings. They're controlling these narratives, man. Okay, remember, you're the ones that let these people over here. And all of a sudden, now we got to get them out. Come on, man. And what's happening right here is the Lord is creating a perverse spirit in the midst of Egypt. Okay, this is the book of Isaiah 19, and I'm going to start at verses 14. It says, "And the Lord have mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and have caused Egypt to earn every work thereof as a drunken man in his vomit." So people are going batshit crazy. You see? Because it's a spirit out here that the Lord is putting on people. And you go into the word perverse, it means distorting, perverting, or warping, all right? Now, when you go into hold on, Salakia. And you look up distorting, right? To twist, and they're twisting the narratives to pull a twist out of shape, give a misleading or false account of impression. Okay, many factors can distort the results, change from it says misleading, pull a twist out of shape. And everything that you see here with this devil, man, it's always some skepticism behind it, because it's like, okay, what's the narrative behind it? Like they mentioned that the guy was equated with ISIS or some shit, the Israeli Secret Intelligence Service, which America hires proxies to do that bidding, because half the countries that invade would not be approved through Congress. So they have to set up proxies to do their dirty work, to show you how wicked Esau really is, man. So all the problems that's going on in the planet Earth is the fault of this damn devil. All right, don't let him fool you and tell you, oh, we have a threat. You are the threat. Okay, terrorism wouldn't exist if your ass was out of the earth. All right. Go back to the video.
Nicole, thank you for waking up for us on this New Year's Day. You are seeing the news unfold, and we are trying to parse and make sense of the unbelievably conflicting messages coming from the mayor, calling it a attack, and then the now FBI Assistant Special Agent in charge, Aletha Duncan, immediately saying it was not.
Acorns makes investing really easy.
Having these rooms. You know, Griff, first of all, thank you for having me join. What a horrible tragedy. I mean, I literally were waking up with hope for 2025. I was literally out running, and I got a text message from Fox asking if I could join. And here we are, again, discussing another tragedy in our country.
I think we were the only ones outside on the balcony, and we took video just for the sheer shock. Like, you don't see stuff like that on city streets. And just no one was helping them. Like, that was kind of the first crazy thought we had, is why is no one helping them? They wouldn't let us out. And obviously, like I told you, some were very clearly deceased, but others were yelling out. And it's a lot to process.
Yeah. And I can hear that shock in your voice.
So many questions now, including part of what Jimmy told me earlier also was that the normal steel, he called them barricades, that are normally up during an event like this, he says weren't up. Another eyewitness who was there told me the same thing. He used the word bollards, but said that the bollards that are normally up were not, that he didn't see any kind of barricade there.
The profile of the man who carried out this attack at this time. So chilling. It does appear that this person took some time to prepare for this, prepared the vehicle. It looks like there was a flag. Investigators are saying they're investigating whether it's a flag or possibly another group, foreign group's flag.
Did this vehicle belong to the suspect?
It seems the vehicle.
And notice that big buzzword now is that T word. T word. That's going to be the theme of their 2025. T word. DT. Domestic TTT. And like I mentioned earlier, they're going to trace a lot of these so-called attacks to certain groups that they've been watching online and saying that they're getting influential power from Hebrew Israelite groups or Islamic terrorist groups they're going to try to spin a narrative to try to trace it back. But yet, they come gunning for the Israelites. They ain't going to find nothing, man. Like, dude, because we don't push violence. Okay, we push Yahweh Bashim and Hawashai. We preach that he's going to take down his kingdom. But that's going to be him that's going to do so. All right. So they need to weigh on how to shutting up those talking points, because you notice a lot of these people that they catching up are looking more and more Hebrew Israelitish. Say it that way. And they're going to try to, one day is going to come a time that they just going to flat out and start blaming brothers for shit like this, man. Whether they do body doubles or AI, because AI is real. It's real advanced now, man. Okay, AI can literally put you in a whole different place that you could be literally in your living room watching the Knicks game or something like that. But yeah, AI had your ass doing something stupid, and they'll come and arrest you, man, based on AI and twist your words in court. And in this case, you probably won't even get a court date. They'll just lock you up, man. So this man is completely getting ready to lose his damn mind. You see, it's the book of Job 18. It says, and I'm gonna start at verses. Let's start at verses 10. It says, the snare is laid for him in the ground, and a trap for him in the way. Yeah, because like in those old video games, when you're getting ready to get to the end of the level and finally collect your prize, and then you end up dying, you get caught by something. Especially in the Mario games, man. You be flying through the stage, and all of a sudden, a fish will come out and eat your ass, man, right before the finish line. And that's how it's gonna be with Esau. He thinks he's gonna get the New World Order up and running, but Yahweh Shah is gonna catch him and do away with him. And it says, and terror should make him afraid on every side and should drive him to his feet. Yeah. And this is what you're seeing in the news. Terror is everywhere, even though they're the ones that's pretty much orchestrating it. But still, the average person, they're on edge because they believe that you actually got homegrown tea people inside their country, which you actually do. And in a vote of the so-called white man, all right, the Edomite, he's the big T word, and he's on trial now for his crimes, man. And the Lord is getting ready to put his ass away. Okay, the whole world is gonna know that the so-called white man, the biblical Idumean, is the devil that the Bible talks about when it's said and done. Okay, you're not gonna be able to point that finger at nobody else no more. All the fingers is gonna be pointed against you, and you ain't gonna get acquitted. Okay, like the scriptures say, you should not be acquitted, man, because you've been getting away with your folly for eons now, man, lifetimes. Okay, you still ain't been racked up on charges since the time of the Greeks, even during the time of the Babylonians, during the time of Haman, man. The time of the garden, you still ain't pay for that, man. So you literally have a entire existence based on wickedness and fraud. So what you think your sin is gonna be? A lifetime of punishment and destruction, man. Because after your captivity, you out of here. You going to jail and you getting a death penalty. That's how the Lord is gonna lock your ass up and destroy the key. He ain't gonna throw it away. He's gonna destroy it. You ain't gonna never be heard from again. You gonna be out this place, man, and for good. And it says here, terror should make him afraid on every side and should drive him to his feet, and his strength should be hunger bitten, and destruction should be ready at his side. And it says it should devour the strength of his skin, and his firstborn of death should devour his strength, which is Yahushai. It says his confidence should be rooted out of his tabernacle, and it should bring him to the king of terrors. Yeah, because when he realized that he can't win the battle against Yahushai, he's seeing the chariots, he's dispatching drones, chariots are pulling up on the FBI agents, man. It ain't nothing he can do. He don't have confidence that he can beat. He know he can't win, but his pride is gonna push him forth. So he's like, you know what? He's a complete loser. He said, you know what? I'm gonna take everybody down. He's like, he got that Nino Brown mentality, man. If I'm going down, everybody going down. Like literally, this man is a sore loser. And it says, and it should dwell in his tabernacle, because because it is none of his. Brimstone should be scattered upon his habitation, and his roots should be dried up beneath, and above his branches should be cut off, and his remembrance should perish from the earth, and he should have no name in the street. Hold on. Did I read it? Terrorists. Yep, I guess I made the point. The point was actually in verse 11, but it's all good. When it says terror should make him afraid on every side and should drive him to his feet. All right.
Vehicle was obtained through like a ride share app program in Texas. So it was like a rented vehicle. So that's what we know at this time, not necessarily belonging to Din Jabbar.
And the shit sounds stupid. Like, who the hell rents a car from Texas just to drive all the way to Bourbon Street just to fucking run people over? Like, what motive is there behind it? Why would he have to harm people that did nothing to him? Okay, especially if he's a disgruntled veteran. If anything, he's coming after you people. He's coming after law enforcement, not the state's official, government officials, judges, lawyers, district attorney. He's going after those people, man. He ain't just finna mow down a bunch of people that's out there getting drunk and committing wickedness. Like, he ain't got no, there's no motive in that. Fuck, he gonna rent a car and do, like, that's stupid. Like, I mean, people rent cars to go across state lines and do shit all day. But something like this, why not just rent the car and just mow people down in your own state? Like, it's just that simple. Instead, this dude drive across fucking state line to go kill. It don't make any sense. It's sloppy, it's stupid. And this man is just the devil, man. All right? But overall, it's the judgments of the Heavenly Father. So let's not lose track of the lesson. Shit, man. I'm gonna have to bring this out in another lesson. Judgment. Love it. Yep. Psalms 33, and I'm gonna start at verses 5. It says, He loveth righteousness and judgment, and the earth is full of the goodness of the Lord. Okay. Psalms 37 and 28. It says, For the Lord loveth judgment, and I read that already, but it says, And have not forsaken his saints. They are preserved forever and ever, and the seed of the wicked should be cut off, man. All right. So I'm going to end it real quick. I'm going to give one more precept and we'll end it. But I'll let the video play to the end. But this is the time we end, man. The Lord said it here. This is the book of 2nd Ezra 16. And I'm going to start at verses 1. It says, Woe be unto thee, Babylon in Asia, and woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. Gird yourselves up with cloths of sack and hair, and bewail your children, and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. All right. So I'm going to end it giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Lord's will, you will edify. To the next lesson. Shalom.
That the vehicle was rented in Texas and then driven to New Orleans to carry out this attack. He was wearing tactical gear.
But I just would like you to know, and for viewers to know, that sadly and tragically, this does appear that this wasn't just, like one of the officers mentioned, this is not just someone who was drunk and drove their car into a crowd. This does appear to be quite intentional, probably very well planned out, probably didn't just come up with this idea today, probably planned this out several days in advance, maybe more. This is a hot spot. This is where people celebrate, and we know that those that commit acts, their goal is to create total chaos, havoc, fear, death, and destruction. And there are people that want to see us be hurt. This was a very planned out, well orchestrated event, and it's very awful. And I just, it's just stunning to me that here we are, New Year's Day, but it's not actually that stunning, because in the FBI and in law enforcement, we all know that the large events, they target large events. Because there are a lot of people and they want to hurt as many people as possible. So again, it's not totally shocking, but that's where we're at.
Sending money home with Remitly is easy. So when you're cooking a furiru and remember your husband's mom.
And not even thunderstorms could put a damper on celebrations last night as the ball dropped to lead us into the new year.
That's right. An estimated 1 million people gathered in Times Square to say goodbye to 2024 and hello to 2025. Let's get right to Good Day's Robert Moses. He is live in Times Square. Robert, 1 million in Times Square, but more than 1 billion actually tuned in worldwide to see that ball drop.
Yeah, that's right. Tashani and Dan, in 2024, as you mentioned, quite literally left with a... The kissing commenced and the confetti fell. An estimated 3,000 pounds of it rained down on the crowd. Almost as soon as it hit the ground, Department of Sanitation workers, a.k.a. New York's strongest, flexed their muscles to clean it up. And it was wet confetti, so it had to be scraped off the ground. Those who waited for hours to witness all of this told us the energy here in New York City simply cannot be matched.
I love the crowd, I love the energy, the positive vibes, and I just love New York itself.
Everyone said that I should